Hi, I'm Doug Black. I'm editor-in-chief of Inside HPC. And today we're talking with a member of the Dell Technologies HPC Community. She is Geetika Gupta, and she is product lead for HPC and AI use cases at Nvidia. Geetika, welcome, and thanks for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
Okay, so why don't we just start out? If you could tell us about your area of focus at NVIDIA, and also maybe a little about your professional background in HPC.
Okay, yeah, so I've been in NVIDIA for more than 10 years now. So I started in the GPUs for the data center back in, I think, 2009. So I've been here for several generations of GPUs that have been powering the HPC in the data center. And I have been a product manager for several generations of GPUs, starting all the way from the Fermi generation and then the Kepler generation that went into the supercomputer at Oak Ridge called Titan. And then I carried forward with the Pascal generation and Volta that is in the Summit. And gradually, now we focus more on understanding the applications and use cases because that's what drives the product features. So because of my long background in the HPC application space, I now look at how the people are using GPUs to accelerate science, also how the convergence of AI is being used for scientific simulation, and drive those into the product features, whether it is on the GPU level or at a software level or at a system level.
I see. Okay, so in your product area or your area of work, what is your connection with Dell Technologies?
With Dell, I've been working with the Dell team for several years. We, as a product manager, we would work with the Dell server team so that they design the right server configurations using our Nvidia GPUs. So, like working on the roadmap together, working on what is the right topology. Like, for example, we started with the PCI configurations. Those are the standard boards. And then we moved to the SXM form factors. So how do they design using the PCI versus where it makes sense to use the SXM form factor? What's the right topology to have that leverages NVLink? So I've been working with the Dell team for several years. Then once the server is ready, what are the right proof points to showcase the server capabilities? So then work with identifying, what are the right applications and use cases to show those capabilities in the system. So yeah, I mean, working through several touch points.
Well, so you very much have this, you're moving toward a workload orientation as a focus. Tell us about maybe some of the coolest customer applications of those products you've worked on with Dell that you've come across.
So I think, with Dell, we've had like some really good exchanges, when it came to designing their one-use system, the C4130 and the C4140. And I think that was a great system, which was great for HPC. And it came out at the time when a lot of our HPC customers were looking at how to deploy, how to combine AI also into the mix. And so I would say that we've had like several, I think the most notable success we've had with Dell was in an oil and gas space. Where where ENI has deployed a whole lot of Dell servers for doing their seismic processing. And the cool part with that deployment is that it was not just for seismic processing. They were looking at incorporating AI also into oil and gas. And they're looking at alternative energy. And I mean, whether it is green energy, whether it's fusion energy, there are a lot of possibilities to use AI techniques over there. So I think that's a really great example. The other, with the recent pandemic, that situation that we are facing, there is a lot of interest in using AI for drug research and finding good candidates that could be, you know, that could be used to either come up with cures or come up with vaccines. So there is a lot of research and deployment going on to support those activities. And I think, Dell systems are going to be very useful in that area.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about what's on the horizon for the Nvidia and Dell partnership, if you will. Working together, are there? Tell us about some of the interesting plans that might be coming up.
Okay, so we announced, like Nvidia announced their new GPU architecture called Ampere, and the products based on that are called A100. This we launched back in May, and we are working with Dell right now to get ready with the systems from Dell, which would have A100.
Taking advantage, leveraging that new Ampere architecture.
Yes.
We know you're
Yes.
very generous with your time, coming to industry events like the Dell Technologies HPC community meetings. What is your sense of the value of cross-discipline community meetings, of this kind?
So cross community, I mean, see, in NVIDIA, we always believe in cross-pollination, sharing knowledge. And the good part is, it makes the products and the features much better. Like if you see within NVIDIA, we have all these business units. They're focusing on graphics, or they're focusing on healthcare, they're focusing on data centers. So there's a lot of learnings that happen. And now, when we are interacting with the Dell, HPC community, we are actually, taking those learnings and sharing it even outside NVIDIA. So when we build our systems, for example, when we build our DGX products, the learnings that we get, we share with our partners, including Dell, so that their system design is also good and avoids all the pitfalls, or take advantage of all the learnings from us. So I think participating in the community is all about sharing the knowledge.
Very good. Okay, Geetika. Well, thanks for spending some time with us. It was a pleasure to meet with you.
Okay. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.